Hello, welcome back to Salty Sunshine. I hope everyone's having a good week. This is your host, Lisa. I'm here to talk some shiz. It is Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving. I can't help but feel bad for every year. I don't eat meat as far as like chicken, meat, beef, and stuff. I do eat fish, eggs, cheese, everything. I'm not vegan, but I do feel really horribly for all the turkeys. I don't know if I'm the only one, but it's really sad. And the pigs, right? Because they do, especially in the Latin culture, they do the pig roast. Oh, during the holidays, and it really makes me sad. It brings me down. But I hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving. What are you guys into for the sides and stuff? I personally hate Thanksgiving food. Like the traditional Thanksgiving food. Again, I don't eat turkey. Um, we had a Thanksgiving feast and there was no salad at work, and that was devastating to me because it was all mush. It was a mush fest. Thanksgiving food is all mush, and I don't like it. I love mashed potato, but that's the only mush I need in one sitting. There's mashed potato, there's corn souffle, which is mush, stuffing, mush, sweet potato with marshmallows, disgusting mush. Um, yeah, it's all mush. So what are we doing? And then you have all the pies, more mush. It's all mush. It's a mush fest, and I hate it. It's all sides. And if you don't eat meat, you have to have a good salad. You have to have a good vegetable side, like roasted vegetables or it was just awful. I basically didn't eat. And then we had things Friendsgiving this weekend, and it's so nice. They did really nice crab claws. And is it crab claws? Is that what they call them? Anyways, that's also delicious, but very hard to eat. You're working for your food and it's rough. There's food flying everywhere because people are cracking things. It's just like up in the air. It's kind of funny. It's all messy. It's on your hands. It's a thing, but it was delicious. And I personally like some flavor with my Thanksgiving food. I love some sort of either white rice, brown rice, flavored rice, herbed rice, something, some beans, some veggie, like soups. Incorporate some soups. So if people don't want to eat all that other carb heavy stuff, you have like a nice healthy soup. Um, two different salads. Salads are amazing. You just like it just crunches it up and kind of cleans your palate. Stuff like that. I don't know. And I like apple pie, but the rest of the pies I could do without. So I would like some chocolate chip cookies, to be honest. Anyways, I hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving. And wow, Jen Shaw. Jen Shaw, it just was released that she's going to be released early from jail on December 10, like next week. That's so wild. I don't know how long she's spent in there. It hasn't been, this seems like the time goes by so fast, but I hope Andy from Bravo stays true to his word and does not bring her back on Housewives, because that would be devastating. Because then I would have to not watch or fast forward her scenes because I don't want people like that on my screen. I mean, if they don't pick her up, obviously somebody else will. But I don't want her back on the Housewives. I feel like we shouldn't be, celebrating What is with the Housewives and all of this arrest? I just heard another one, the Potomac one, now another one, I think Atlanta or something. Everyone's getting arrested for some fraud stuff. It's wild. It's just crazy how you go on a show and continue to do illegal activities is beyond me. But I wonder if Heather from Salt Lake City is going to talk to Jen Shaw. She'll probably write a book or something. I don't know. It's kind of wild. Real Housewives, I mean, sorry, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I don't know if I talked about it last time. I binged the whole thing. It's the perfect vanilla drama show. I do feel like they're being, for the most part, real about who they are. And that's why I think it's so enjoyable to watch. It's what the Housewives could never be, reality. It's actual reality. Um, you could tell they're just being themselves. Sometimes they're not wearing a lick of makeup and they look so it's like they're in their lounge pants. Like I like that. I want realness and vulnerability and all the things. The only thing I need them to do immediately is stop referring to Mom Talk as something they need to guard and protect, because then I feel stupid watching it. They just have to cut that out. Like, stop, you're too old. It started that way, but let's leave that in the past, because just call them a friend group. Like, I can't do it anymore. We had to protect Mom Talk. We had to protect Mom. Shit, no. Um, but yeah, so Taylor Frankie Paul was filmed. She was filming for the Bachelorette, and I think she was at a basketball game or something. She was making out with some guy there, so that was interesting. Um, BravoCon, wow, the footage from BravoCon is so amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed all the clips, although I rather die than actually be there because it seems so chaotic, and there's nothing I enjoy less than sitting in an audience listening to someone talk. For work, for entertainment, the only thing I can bear is like a comedy show, and even that I get antsy. I don't want to sit unless I'm watching a movie. I don't want to sit in an audience and listen to absolutely anybody speak. I get bored to tears. I could care less. It's full of fluff. I don't like it. So that will be my worst nightmare. So I want to see like little clips, but I don't want to see from start to finish and be stuck in that room. But the clips were amazing. Everyone's clowning on Craig Conover from Southern Charm because his hair looked kind of funny, in my opinion. I liked his hair before. I didn't like whatever he had going on there. His clothes are always ill-fitting. I don't get it. Like, he needs a tailor. He's so hot though, right? He has like really good skin. He's very, very handsome. And I don't know why he can't get the tailoring together. And that's about it, because the hair is not that bad. But he did speak a little about Paige, as far as, because Southern Charm just premiered. Oh my God, my favorite show. I saw the first episode. He just talks about, he doesn't go into detail. He just feels betrayed because he felt blindsided, which happens in so many breakups. Big deal. Like you and everybody else, right? But he just talks about general stuff like that. He thought they were going to spend the rest of their lives together, blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't know why she had to make him the villain. I kind of tend to agree from what I've seen. I'm not going to pretend I know these people or the intricacies of their relationship, but I tend to agree with that. I still love Paige, but breakups are tough no matter what. And I think she went too hard on him for no reason. But who knows? Maybe he annoying the shit out of her and she couldn't stand him at that point, so she didn't care. It's a good thing that she left Bravo, because she probably wouldn't have gone to BravoCon if she was still part of someone else anyways, because she obviously doesn't want anything to do with him. But it was awesome. Chanel Ayan from Real Housewives of Dubai, which I don't think that show's any longer, which makes me so sad because I love that show. I know the ratings were bad and everyone said it was so boring. Again, I loved it. It was so good because they weren't scream yelling match fighting. They were just being themselves. They're in Dubai. It's a cool background. They're classier. They're just like more non-toxic, even though there was a few there that were toxic, but I loved it. I love that show. Ayam was so funny, and that's what I want. I want to see them having fun, being silly, goofy. She's so funny. She was a host on the BravoCon carpet, and the clips of that, go to her page. Go to her page. She posts all these clips. Go to the BravoCon or Bravo page, whatever, I don't know. They have all her clips of all her interviews and they are gold, TV gold. She needs to be a permanent host for Bravo. It's so funny because, first of all, she has no idea what the hell's going on. She obviously doesn't sit there and binge watch it like I do. And she doesn't know half the people she's interviewing, but she's so blunt and it's so funny. She was interviewing Austin Kroll from Southern Charm, and she's like, "So tell me, what show are you on?" And he's like, "Okay." She's like, what's up with you? What have you been doing in your life?" And he's like, "I don't know, filming my show." She's like, "What show are you on?" And then she's like, "Are you married?" She's like, you're so tall and handsome, and why are you single?" She's like, "Why are all these Bravo men single? Like, you guys are hot, you have money, you're on TV. Why are you single?" She's so funny. And then she's talking to Shep, and she's interviewing Shep, and she's like, "So you're single too?" And she's like, you should date. You should date Paige." She tells Shep that he should date Paige because Paige is so gorgeous, and because she doesn't know the history. It's so funny. I love it. It was so good. I wish I could just watch all her interviews. It was really good. She's so cute and she dresses fabulous and she's so funny. I heard her also on the Vile Files, and she said that she's selling her house in Dubai, her and her husband, because I think her husband's from Iowa and somewhere. And they're going to live between like LA and Iowa or wherever he's from, Idaho or Iowa. And she's selling her house in Dubai so she could be closer to her son that's going to college here. But that's interesting that she's leaving Dubai. I also think Caroline Stanberry is, I know she has a house in Dubai and I don't, she's probably not selling it, but I didn't hear kind of like them talking about also moving to the US. So I don't know what that's about. It's interesting too that Ayam was saying that being in the US, it's so much scarier because Dubai is like super safe. They're super strict with their rules. There's no, whatever. You can't yell in public. You can't fight. The drinking, all that. It's at a minimum. So they're very strict. So they feel perfectly safe walking at 3 in the morning in the street, which must be very fun and nice. Although I don't like the rest of what goes along with, all that as far as like them telling people what they can and can't do and women and stuff, but that part I like. The safety part of it is refreshing to hear and interesting. Another thing that happened at BravoCon. So Madison LaCroix, which I love. I know some people don't like her. I know a lot of people love her. Cy from Real Housewives of New York are feuding because apparently like 2 years ago they were on a panel sitting right next to each other and apparently Cy was so rude to Madison and Madison is, I love her. She's the sweetest thing, but if you're a bitch to her, she's gonna call you out. And they asked her this year who who's like the rudest person or whatever or meanest, and she said Cy from Real Housewives of New York. So then Cy, I guess, responded to something online and said, I've never met you. I don't know who you are. Not all brown people are the same person, which was so stupid, I thought, of Cy to say, because again, the race card, the bullshit, like, shut up. Like, if you were a bitch, you were a bitch. It had nothing to do with what you look like. And then Madison posted proof of them sitting next to each other 2 years ago. And then Cy thought she was slick saying, well, you're so unmemorable. Like, I wouldn't recognize you if they pay me, whatever. And Madison's like, well, you remember me now, bitch. Like, I just love her. I just love her because she's a bitch. Let's be real. And she's a bitch and not in a fun way. Madison's a bitch in a fun way and a realistic way. She's not a bitch just to be a bitch. She's a bitch when she needs to be a bitch. Sai's just a bitch all the time. And she can't pull it off. It's not endearing? So I'm Team Madison on this. Sai should have just been like, what did I do to you? I don't get it. So that was interesting. But yeah, there was kind of some drama. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun. Teresa and her brother Joe, Teresa Giudice and her brother Joe made up. I don't know if it's for camera. She swears it's not. After the disgustingness that what happened between them, I can't imagine it's smooth sailing. Like I'm sure it's going to be a bumpy road because my God, there's no way they just whatever. Um, and then Candy and Todd, Candy from Atlanta and her husband Todd have split after what, like 10, 12 years of marriage. I love when celebrities post a split, when they split and they post a statement about it. I find it to be so silly. We don't need a statement. I mean, it's kind of weird, right? They're like, first of all, it's bullshit. It's a ChatGPT PR release. It's not genuine because no one's going to be like, you know what? He got on my last damn nerve. I can't freaking stand the guy. I mean, that's what's really happening, right? Or he wants this, I want that, whatever. They're never going to tell you the real reason. And all they say is how much they love and respect each other. And it's so stupid because no breakup is like that. You're breaking up for a reason. And it's not because you love and respect each other. So I think it's silly, but they did confirm it. Her mom must be elated, but her mom is probably part of the reason they're splitting because her mom is like, was awful to him. I don't, it's sad because I think they have like what, like 2 or 3 kids, little kids. And they've been together so long and they have businesses together. I don't know why. It's sad. I'm not happy about that. He seems like a nice enough person and they seem like they get along. So I don't know what's going on with that. Keeping up with the Kardashians. All right. I'm a hop and a skip away from like not watching the show anymore. I'm so checked out and bored. It's not what it used to be. It's not. Let me tell you something too. As time goes on with Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it's interesting, right? Because we're just people and we turn on the TV and we watch what we see, and we're just trusting enough to believe like most of it is probably authentic and true or whatever, especially in the beginning when they were messy and just being sisters and fighting and not caring like the Nader sisters are now. They used to be like that. But now that all this stuff is coming out with all the Epstein and Diddy and blah 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 and Ray J, it's kind of bothering me. So the Kardashians came out. Keep up with the Kardashians. You think Kim's always crying about the sex tape and Kanye saved me from this and he's gonna suppress it and blah blah blah. It's coming out that Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian planned the sex tape to use the sex tape to make them famous, and there's no tears whatsoever. And this was a plan, and they used it on purpose to be famous. Now, if that's true, everything we've watched is a lie, and that bothers me. It bothers me that they lied to us, and then now they're making money off the fact that they conned us, and that pisses me off. So I don't know. I just see them as liars now. So it kind of takes away the enjoyment of the show for me because obviously, and they're suing Ray J's suing them, and I think they're suing back or something because they paid Ray J $5 million or X amount of dollars allegedly to not ever say anything about this plan that they did. And if that's true, I don't want to watch them anymore because it's like it's a huge lie. I don't know. It's bothering me. It's really bothering me, and no one's talking about it. And everyone's kind of just pushing it under the rug or not paying attention, or I don't know. Like it just dawned on me what a crazy fabricated lie this is. And if you watch the show now, you can tell everything that Kim says is bullshit. Like no one's being real. I feel like Courtney's the only real one. I'm sorry. Courtney, Kendall, they're the only ones that are themselves. And even though Courtney's pretty private, she's being herself. Even though maybe she's crotchety, she has a period, she's breastfeeding, she doesn't feel great, like she's being a little bitchy, but that's who she is at the moment. So she's still being herself. For instance, Kim. You're gonna tell me Kim hasn't gone on like all these dates or had run-ins with people? Like a real reality show, she'd be telling her sisters, "Oh my god, you know your son who I bumped into the other day, and can you believe he whatever we went out here." Like that's the juice you want to see because it's quote unquote reality. She talks about zero anything real. There's nothing real happening on that show, and it's pissing me off. All she talks about is how busy she is and how she takes her kids to school, which we all know is bullshit. And it's just bullshit. It's boring. I did think it was funny when Court was telling Chloe, you're doom scrolling or something. And Chloe was like, if you see my feed and my story, it's all like nice stuff. It's not doom. So she's saying doom scrolling is looking at negative things online. But I thought doom scrolling was just basically scrolling mindlessly. I thought that's what doom scrolling meant. I didn't think it had to do with the content being negative, just like watching content all day. So I thought that was funny. If Chloe's wrong, she took it so literally. I thought it was funny. But yeah, it's such bullshit. And Chloe too. We all know she's screwing Tristan in the background, and or what's going on with her and Tristan? Like they're not being real. Everything's so fake. I just can't take it. I want if they become real and talk about who they're dating, who they're not, if they had a stomach ache, oh my god, I had diarrhea on it. I don't know. I need something real in their life. It's so bad this show. I think they should end it. I don't know why they're on the show, and it's this last episode. Courtney told Kim because Kim's like, I'm so it's my one day off a week from studying and the show and the blah blah blah. And so Courtney's like, well, I've said this before, and I'm not trying to like start a fight. But again, it begs the question, why do you do all this? Like, what is the point and the end goal? And Kim sits there with her bullshit, and it's just like so old already. It's like true. Why are you doing all this? Like, you have all the money in the world, you have all these businesses. Like, why don't you just cut it out already? It's so stupid. You keep crying about your kids and not having time, but you keep voluntarily doing things so you don't have time when you don't have to. So I'm just over it. I'm just more interested in I'm just really interested in the background of what's actually happening in their lives. And I want to know, that would be such a bombshell. Did they plan the release of that sex tape on purpose for power and business purposes? I need to know this. It seems like it's true, but I want them to say it. I want them to admit it. It's driving me crazy because that is the con of the century. Everything they're lives are based on is a bullshit lie. And all the times she's cried on TV about the sex tape and how humiliating it is, she's lying. And that pisses me off. I don't know about you, but it pisses me off. There was this girl on, so Juicy Scoop with Heather McDonald. She has a podcast called Juicy Crimes. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but if you haven't, you should check it out. It's really good. And there was this girl on there that I heard the other day. She's a model. What was her name? Something Adler. And it was a very juicy episode. I thought it was great because she was talking about the Kardashians and how and the Epstein, she knows Diddy and she knows Cassidy, and she has all the scoop. When she was young, she was a model, and she had the good sense on her. She had a good head on her shoulders since she was young, even though she was naive and everything and did a little bit of shady things, but not really. She would see like, oh my God, what she said about Naomi Campbell. She said Naomi Campbell was a raging lunatic, always on drugs. Her purse was a pharmacy filled with narcotics of whatever you needed, and that she would drug all the. She called her like a trafficker. So it's very juicy. It's very juicy. I highly recommend you go listen to that. Um, it's one of the it's the last episode that came out on Juicy Crimes. It's really good. So I would definitely, I'm going to tell you her name right now. The Dark Side of the Modeling World is the podcast name, and the model is Barbara Adler. And she talks about her experiences and how back in the day, probably not so much anymore, they would bring young, pretty girls in. And if you signed up with the modeling agency, let's say like photographer that they worked with, would like grope you and all this stuff. And then if you didn't play by the rules, and they would make you go to parties that you didn't want to go to, and you knew what happened at those parties, a bunch of old disgusting men holding your hand too long, touching you inappropriately, saying all this stuff, let's go on the yacht, blah blah blah. Yeah, all that stuff. It's super juicy. But she did talk about like Ray J and Naomi Campbell and Epstein, and she thinks Epstein's still alive, and all these things. The Israeli government's involved. Yeah, it's really juicy. But that's what actually made me start thinking about the Kardashian stuff. I'm like, wow, we've been duped. Everybody's been lied to. Just like Kim and Chloe won't admit they have fat injections in their ass. Oh, it drives me crazy because it's a reality show and you guys call yourself so real, but none of you are real. None of you. Like, you don't give us anything. So yeah, that's that on that. There's a crazy case coming out of Miami, Florida. And this family went on a cruise. I don't know if you guys have seen on the news, this 18-year-old Anna Kepner. They went on Carnival Horizon. I think they live in Titusville in Florida, but they came, I guess, to go on the ship out of Miami, the port of Miami. And on the way back, so it's Anna Kepner, she's 18, her biological dad, her stepmom. The stepmom has three sons, so she has three step siblings. They all go on this ship. She shares a room with two of her step siblings, which are males, and I think that's crazy. Why would her dad put her in a room with two boys that aren't her? Even if they were her real brothers, I mean, it's a little safer because usually if you're real siblings, you don't want to hurt your sibling like that. But if it's a step, but boys and girls in general, especially at that age, you want to be, careful because there's hormones and all that. So you never know. Also, they're stepbrothers. Like, what are you doing putting them in the same room? That's freaking nuts. So they're on this cruise, and on the way back, they went out like the last night of the ship. She goes in, she didn't feel great. She goes back to the cabin. They meet for breakfast in the morning, and she never shows up. So they do this, emergency search, all this stuff, because it was a while. So apparently, she was in the room with her 16-year-old stepbrother that, in more digging, she was he was obsessed with her. So apparently he has a history of acting really weird towards her. He's obsessed with her. Apparently the other brother, his brother, was on a live one day, and Anna was sleeping on the bed behind him while he was on the live, and the weirdo brother comes in and like jumps on her, crawls on top of her on the bed, and the other brother was like, get off of her, what are you doing? He was like protecting Anna. And so stuff like that would happen. So he was weird, and he would walk around with a knife, and he was just like one of these oddball kids. So the parents ignored all these signs because if he was so odd, it was obvious. Apparently, Anna had an ex boyfriend that also thought the guy was weird and obsessed with her. And he tried to tell her parents, and her parents brushed it off like there was nothing wrong. It's infuriating that these parents did not protect the kid, of the daughter. And so on the way back, when they can't find her, she doesn't show up to breakfast. The housemaid or the cleaning people, whoever you want to call them, go into the room and find her dead under the bed. She's wrapped up in blankets or whatever, pushed under the bed. The stepbrother, the 16-year-old stepbrother, is the suspect in custody. This is under investigation with the FBI, so they won't release absolutely any details. And I think they forbid the family to even speak about it because it's under the FBI, which is so weird that you can't talk about your own family and situation. So apparently, if this 16-year-old killed her, he pushed her under the bed and then went to sleep. He killed her, pushed her into the bed, went to sleep, woke up in the morning and went to breakfast and left her. Like, what a psychopath. What a psychopath. The dad is probably, I'm sure he's going to divorce this lady because how's he going to live with himself? I could never, you can't go back to regular life. Like, you married a woman that had three sons, you failed to do your job as a dad, and her son killed your daughter. I don't know how you survived that, but it's a crazy case. They did release the cause of death, which they call it bar hold asphyxiation, which means he grabbed her with his arm, like he put her in like in a lock hold with his arm and choked her from behind. That's what it sounds like, a bar hold, they call it. So that's how she died, from the bruising and what they can see. And so her real mom, her biological mom, apparently lives in Oklahoma and has nothing to do with her daughter because when, I guess, when the mom and the dad got divorced, it was super bad and it stayed really awful, very contentious. She lost custody or something. I don't know exactly, but she didn't have contact with her daughter for years because of this, because I guess he got full custody and he forbid her from coming around. So the mom, the real mom, found out the daughter was dead online. That's crazy. So he didn't even bother to tell the mom what happened. And so she heard it from like a friend or something, a friend's daughter came and said, "Hey, I think something happened to your daughter." And she Googled it, and that's how she found out her daughter died on the ship. And when she called the dad, the dad told her, "Don't you even think about coming to Florida, because the minute you get here, I'll have you arrested for back child support." That's crazy. I don't care what happened between you two. If her daughter died, and your daughter just died, I would think you'd have a little more sadness in you to be like, of course you can come. I mean, she's your daughter's dead, our daughter's dead. That's wild for the man, for the father to be like, you better not show up here. What? That's crazy. This is such a crazy story. So her mom was forbidden from to come to Florida, but she came anyways, and she said that she wore a wig and really high heels, like she really disguised herself so she wouldn't be recognized, and she was at the really back end of the memorial by the door in case she had to flee, but no one ended up recognizing her. Tell me that's not the craziest thing. People, the dysfunction in families, I'll never understand how it can get so ridiculous. Um, so yeah, that's where we are. We don't really know much of anything else other than just people speculating. The ex-boyfriend saying, "I knew he was a creep." The brother saying whatever. It's just really sad. She was just an 18-year-old young, beautiful girl, and now she's dead because nobody cared to see what was right in front of them. So I'm interested to see what comes out in this case. Obviously, they're probably going to make some sort of documentary on it and a 2020 or something. But I'm like in shock. It's very, very sad. You have to be careful. You just have to be careful. I don't know what's wrong with men. They're always attacking women. I just don't understand why we can't live in peace. And more people need to bring this up. It's very sad. I feel really bad for everyone involved in that situation. But if you're interested, look it up. It's all online. And I think that's all I have. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.